Hello guys, and welcome back to the Doc Car channel, and today what I'm going to do is replace the GWS shifter on my 2009 BMW 530i E60 model. Now you might be wondering, why am I going to replace this GWS shifter? So I'm going to put that one into drive, and then I'm going to put that one into sport mode. As you can see, it's in sport mode. When I put park, it's supposed to push straight in there by itself. Now, if I was to put it into drive and manual and I put it into park, take a look and see what happens. It's going to start flashing 5 times because what's happened is it has faulted out with a A30 fault, which means it has had a problem returning from its manual gate. If you're wondering what a manual gate is, if you push it to the left, that's your manual gate. Up and down, that's what they mean by manual gate. So I get a system resetting faulty AA30, as well as when I'm driving normally without sport mode, INPA is giving me an error 5117 GWS faulty. So I've already run a test on ISTA as well, and it does indicate to replace the GWS shifter according to the test plan that I've done. There's one thing I want to tell you guys is, before you actually start this job, make sure to disconnect the battery of your vehicle. Now, because you could blow out some electronics when you're unplugging and you're touching metal parts right here, so make sure you unplug the battery first. Just the negative terminal should do, and then start this job. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this little trim bezel around here, and what you need to do is just push down a bit, put your finger underneath, and then pull up, and it should come out like that. Okay, so over here you are presented with Torx screws right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and this. I'm going to remove the iDrive knob first. So it should come up just like that. Now this one, like that, it should come out. So we do need the Torx bit set. So I've got here with me T10 all the way up through to T40. However, we won't be requiring all of those. Alright, so this is one of the hardest part to get out. So this whole bezel right here has got to come out from here up to here. Now from the passenger side, I've put my finger down here and tried to pull up and disconnected this. And then I've tried to do it from this tab as well, pull it up. And then I've put a flexible plastic card right down here all the way through. And then I've managed to pop it open. So now that is starting to come apart nicely. When you get to the menu button, you do have a connection down the bottom, so you're going to be careful. Okay, so I've got this one in the way blocking it. Okay. And then you got to pull that way as it starts to come up so that you can clear this part. All right, so the wiring is just below here. So you should be able to push this one up, like so. And then we want to disconnect the cable right here. Little tab right down here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that was the tab that you would have needed to pull. We can slowly lift this one away, like so. Make sure you don't scratch it. Okay, so there are 2 screws here, one here and one just under there, that actually holds the neutral release lever. So this one is, let's say if your car does break down and is stuck in park, you stick a screwdriver in here and you pull all the way back. This is your neutral emergency release. I have removed the 2 T20 screws right here. Now what I would suggest also is, rather than having a big ended screwdriver here, to get one of the socket bits, so you can get one of those 1/4 inches. This is a ratchet, 1/4 inch ratchet, an extension, and a T20 end. So that's how I managed to pull these 2 screws out. So this one should now just lift a little bit gently away so it's loose. Now the next thing you do is, you've got 1 T30 screw right here and 2 T30 screws right here. These are the ones actually holding this whole GWS shifter into place. An extension and also a socket bit, which is T30. Now you can see it's better made this way. So this, since the screw is highly torqued down, it should be easier to come out. Let's give it a go. There you go. See how easily that came out? Okay guys, so now we've got all the screws loose and taken out. So just so that you know how the T30 screws look, it's got a washer, T30 end, and it's got blue color thread locker as well. That's why it was quite hard to take it out. Now you can use thread locker if you would like, but as long as you snugly tighten it, that should be fine. Now what I've done is I've disconnected this connector from the GWS unit. Now I'll show you how you can do that once I pull this GWS unit out, because there's a little tab you need to push on and then pull out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull this wire a bit more out first, so that you don't end up pinching the wire as you're trying to pull it out. Now the neutral control switch is right here. We're just going to be mindful that we don't end up hitting this on the way out. You got to wrestle a little bit with it. Almost out. All right, there we go. That unit is now out. So as you can see, that's your part number there. So this part number, you can't actually put any gear lever that looks like this into the car. You have to cross-reference the part number. So let's say, for example, when I go to railoem.com, I will put the last 7 digits of my car's VIN number into the VIN checker, and then it will tell me what the part number is for my vehicle. However, if I don't see this part number there, what I can do is I can also plug in this part number, and it'll show me any part number that is exchangeable, interchangeably exchangeable, and then you will be able to confirm that the part number actually fits your vehicle. So as you can see, when I initially took out the cable, it was really difficult to take out. So you can see right here, there's a little hole there. You can see the screwdriver can go inside. What you need to do is you need to push on this and then pull out the cable. If not, you might break the clip out the cable. As you can see, these are the pins right in here. You got to make sure that the pins connect properly. So this is our replacement unit. It's not new, but it's secondhand, so it's not been tested. So I'm going to test it properly before wrestling the whole damn thing back in. Now, as you can see, the part number is slightly different, but it is compatible with my previous part number. As you can see, 8095, which means year 2008, the 9th week, the 5th day. So I'm going to plug it in first. I'm just going to tape it down just to make sure that it actually works. And that's clipped in. All right guys, so now I have done a basic test. Now I'm going to try to get it back in. All right guys, so now this is a bit tricky to get back in, just as it was tricky to get out. You're going to make sure you don't hit the wires. Okay, so now I have got to align these clips right here. As you can see, there are the mounting screws right here and your mounting plate. Now the one that I had, the replacement part, didn't come with that, so I put the old one back in here, and these ones are currently here. Now we have to make sure that it is properly seated in. All right, so now that I've done all of that, I can proceed to plug the cable back in. Make sure to pull the wire a bit more so you got a bit more slack. And then that should be as simple as clipping this cable back in. Like so. So I've got my T30 screws right here. What you're going to do is you're going to start off the top first, just to make sure that it aligns properly. Now you want to make sure that you're screwing it on the actual silver plate itself, like so, because if you don't screw it onto the silver plate, then it's going to go all over the place. Okay, so I'm just going to snugly tighten it first because there might be some adjustment needed. Just going to take off my mask. Kind of dusty in here. Okay, and then I'm gonna slide this piece so that it fits over the screws quite well. So I've put my T20 back in here so people can see. That's your T20. This is your neutral switch. Now you'll have to line up your neutral switch to that little tab right there. And then now I'm going to tighten this screw down here, which is a bit difficult to get to, but it's still doable. Okay, so now I'm going to try to tighten down the T30 bolts. This T20 bolt right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the vehicle just to make sure that it all works properly as it should. And then once I've started it back up, now I had disconnected the battery this whole time. I also mentioned it at the start of the video as well. Now I'm just going to test all of the functionalities and then we're going to put everything back together again. Drive to sport, and this is where I was having the issue before, and park. There we go. So now I've bolted everything back together. I have gone for a test drive and it did come up with a park button faulty message. So I've already replaced the park button here. I will save that for another video. So I will link that down in the description below. Now we're going to put this whole trim piece back in here. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide it over like this at like a 45-degree angle. Make sure you park it in properly. Now I've also given a general clean down in that area, so it's quite nice and clean. And then we're going to feed this power button. We're going to feed this power button right through this hole here, like so. And then we're going to make sure that it lines up properly. And then we are going to hook the menu button back in, like so. Okay, so now that has been done, you need to make sure that this one fits properly and all the holes need to line up. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to push the menu button back in, but make sure that it's properly clipped in first. Because if you don't properly clip in, you'll have to take the whole menu button out again. And then we're going to push the menu button back down, like so. As you can see, it's now pressable. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I've got my T20 screws, and then we're going to bolt the T20 screws back down. Alright guys, so we are just going to put this button back down now. Now you got to make sure that it sits into the teeth first. As you can see, there are 4 notches here to 4 notches here. So you'll see when you turn it around, it just starts sitting down and push down. like so. And now you can see that's all back together. And then we're going to put this trim bezel piece back in, and that should complete the job. Now make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to my YouTube channel for completely free. I've got a lot of car how-to DIY videos. Thanks guys.